It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the movies of December 2nd, 1994. Only 5 more weeks to go in 1994, so you got 3 movies to look at. Let's just jump right on into it. We'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, and again, biggest in quotation marks because this was not a very good weekend for new releases, but we have Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, Dana Carvey starring in the comedy Trapped in Paradise. I mean, overall, this is a really, really stupid movie, and honestly, a lot of the best jokes are in this trailer, but I don't know. To me, I kind of have a nostalgic feel for this movie. I saw this movie when I was about 15, 16 years old for the first time, and I thought it was all right. I do admit that, yeah, it is a very ridiculous movie. The premise doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Um, Everybody in this town is way too damn nice. It's a dumb movie, but you know what? Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, Dana Carvey, they just have that good meshing of chemistry that works so well here. Like you can actually buy into the fact that they could be brothers. They are trying their best with the material given to them. The comedy is very hit and miss. Like I said, the best moments are mostly in the trailer that you just saw, but I thought it was a cool, nice little film. It's a very stupid movie, but it's a nice little film. Well, it has that nice Christmas feel to it. Like it's snowing all the time. It's hard not to appreciate that type of stuff. And yeah, I know it's a bad movie. I know it's not a very good movie whatsoever. But I personally thought it was just okay. I have a good time with this movie. It's one of those movies that I watched when I watched when I was younger, and it has some longevity to me. Let me rephrase that. It has longevity to me after all these years. Like, it still has a nostalgic feeling for me. And, it kind of still holds up for me a little bit. It's not a good movie whatsoever, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's an okay movie. With that said, let's move on to the next movie that we have here, and that is Tommy Lee Jones starring as the legendary baseball player Ty Cobb in Cobb. That was not a clip, that was the entire movie, and, yeah, if I was the Cobb family, I would not be very happy with the portrayal of this person that we know, because this movie really does make it seem like that Ty Cobb was just the world's worst person whatsoever, and maybe they were right, maybe this was the whole thing. Even though I did hear about I did read about the story about Al Stump. He apparently, when he wrote this biography about him, about Ty Cobb, he fictionalized a lot of the stuff in there, so there's a good chance that most of this movie is complete and utter bullshit, and they just thought that'd be a very more interesting story than the actual story of Ty Cobb, because, I mean, that's how you got to do it. And I don't know if there's anything about that. I think I remember at one point they were actually going to sue the filmmaker of this movie, Ron Shelton, because of this, but I don't know if that was ever true or not. I just heard that was a rumor at the time, but as far as the movie goes, it's okay. I mean, for Ron Shelton, this is the same guy that gave us such great movies as Bull Durham, White Man Can't Jump, and Blaze. We've looked at a couple of those movies. He's made a lot of great movies, but this was kind of the first one where I felt like it didn't work as much as he wanted it to. It felt like he was trying to push for that Academy Award, because it felt like this movie was trying to be the Oscar contender this year. Another winner for Tommy Lee Jones. He already won the Oscar the year before for The Fugitive. This was supposed to be the movie that should get him another Oscar, and it didn't really do it. Even though I don't think he's bad in the movie, I think he plays this role well enough. But just the idea of the movie alone, I think the movie feels like it's trying to go against everything that Ty Cobb was. I never knew this. I never knew much about this person. He was way past my time as a baseball player, but I don't think that everything that happens in this movie is what this guy really was. I mean, maybe it was in there at times, but this movie really, really hates this guy. It's one of those movies where you look at it and you try to think to yourself that maybe this is kind of the point. We get so many of these biopics that try to be so positive about the person involved. Like, they never hurt anybody. They only did what they had to do because they were sucked into it. And maybe they felt that this movie was trying to be the antithesis of that, but it really just comes off as them just saying straight out that Ty Cobb was an asshole. Like, there was nothing good about him whatsoever, and I don't know. Like, I really don't think that the right motivation for this movie was set. I mean, it could have been something interesting, but you're taking from a story that's supposedly mostly fictionalized, and you're not really telling the whole story. You're just trying to make a story up, so it works well for for entertainment purposes and not for a legitimate movie purpose. You know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of the Babe Ruth story, the one from the 40s, the one that was made just before Babe Ruth died, and they tried to make Babe Ruth this happy-go-lucky guy. Like everything he was doing, even if he broke the law, even if he was a jerk, it was all family-friendly and good fun for everyone because he had to be the nice guy in this story. Like this feels like the antithesis of that, and it feels like that same type of movie, except instead of him just being the happy is the hero of the story, he's just the biggest villain ever. And I mean, yeah, this is a really mixed up film. Like I'll give Tommy Lee Jones credit. He does play this role very well. I thought the casting overall was very well done, and I thought for Ron Shelton, who had just done comedies most of his time, I'll give him credit for trying to do something a little more dramatic. But this was probably not the best movie to do it with. So mixed bag review on that one, Cobb. So let's move on to the last movie that we have here, and that is Willem Dafoe and Miranda Richardson in Tom and Viv. I saw this one ages ago. I barely remember anything about it. All I remember is that had William Dafoe as T.S. Eliot, Miranda Richardson played his wife. Pretty much all I remember about it. I don't remember it being terrible, but it didn't really leave a big lasting impact on me, honestly. And judging by the reviews by it, I think everyone felt the same thing. So, yeah, pretty quick one on that one. Tom and Viv. And so on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll look at the films of December 9th. 4 movies to look at, including Michael Douglas and Demi Moore starring in Barry Levinson's Disclosure. We also have Wesley Snipes in the action thriller Drop Zone, and also Federal Hill and Century. So 4 movies to look at next time around. We'll do that on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.